Hello, I am Bookface. Today we're going to talk about something that everybody knows about, death. This is a fun show. These are fun videos that we make here. But we're going to talk about something not just death, but when people refuse to stay dead. It's arguably worse than, dying. Well, I guess that has to happen first, so I don't know. Next step. Yes, we're talking about the famous zombies. And shockingly enough, they're a little less useless than things that just go like, brains, brains, and can do literally nothing else. No, what we're talking about are actual good zombies. The first kind of zombie we have is one from Norse myth. Because everybody knows the Norse zombies. You know what I'm talking about, right? I'm going to assume that's a yes. The Norse version of the zombie is called a draugr, or a draug. Draugr were supposed to come from people who were buried in a non-horizontal position, which is a very weird way of saying not lying down. The draugr would come from people that were standing or sitting in their grave. Wait, how are they sitting in a coffin? It's a coffin. Those are fairly flat. Also, who would put a coffin in upright? I don't know. The Norse, I guess. Unlike regular zombies, which are again brains, useless, the draugr were actually very intimidating. Now, they looked just about like any other zombie. Rotting flesh, glowing eyes, stuff like that. But the draugr had many powers. One power of the draugr was the ability to change size. They could grow miraculously at will, which sounds kind of terrifying. Some accounts say that the draugr would actually just step on its victim. It sounds terrifying enough to be chased by a zombie, but I feel like it would be adding insult to injury if the zombie, instead of chasing you down and trying to kill you, just like grew to 20 feet tall and just stepped on you like a bug. I feel like that would be insulting. The draugr had other abilities too, though. One ability was that they could swim through solid rock. I don't know how that's swimming. Just swimming along in through the rocks. Too much work. I'm a lazy person. That's excess work for me. But yes, apparently this was an ability of the draugr, which I guess is terrifying. But the worst ability, in my opinion, of the draugr is the ability to appear to people in their dreams. The draugr would manifest in someone's dreams. Yes, this is the motion for manifesting. Obviously. Draugr would appear in someone's dream, and if they did, they'd scare the crap out of that person. But when the person woke up, the draugr would be standing right next to them. Sweet dreams, my friends. Let's hope you don't dream of draugr tonight, because that would be bad. Now, what exactly did the draugr do when they caught people? No, it is not brains. The draugr, instead of, eating people's brains, would, in some stories, drain them of their blood like a vampire. It's a weird gesture when you can't see my mouth. Where's my mouth? Whatever. But in other ones, they would eat flesh, like a normal zombie. Some normal zombies. The normal zombies, those regular, everyday zombies that we all see. Now, the draugr is terrifying enough, but there is a silver lining. You can kill one. Now, draugr is not actually weak to normal weapons. A normal knife isn't going to cut a draugr. But it is thought that weapons made of iron could hurt the draugr. You'll learn eventually that iron is kind of like that super metal that you use for weapons, because everything hates iron. Draugr, ghosts, many other things, I'm sure. But that's a later video. Several later videos. The way to fully kill a draugr is to chop off their head, burn the body to ashes, and just throw the ashes into the river. The weird part of that is that I feel like that sort of implies that if you cut off the draugr's head, burn it to ashes, but don't throw it in the river, then the Draugr will come back anyways. That's very impressive and terrifying, because you know if you burned that thing to ashes and it came back, it's gonna be mad. So yeah, sweet dreams. Next undead creature we have is a Gienganger. Welcome back to Bookface Doesn't Know How to Pronounce Things. Probably. I might be right. The Gienganger is a Norwegian? Is it just Scandinavian? It is Norwegian. The Gienganger is a Norwegian form of undead. The Gienganger is supposed to come from one of three different kinds of people. One, a murderer. Two, a murder victim. Be kind of awkward if those two Gienganger met up. Like, a person gets murdered by somebody, and the murderer comes back as a Gienganger. But so does the victim, and it's just awkward in the cemetery. They don't even fight, they just... Really? Really, bro? Now look where we both are. But yeah, the third one is a suicide victim. No jokes about that one. Yes, the Gienganger is one of those creatures where people don't have ideas of how to fight it exactly. Like, it's not stab it with a wooden stake or cut off its head. Instead, it's more like, put a cross in its grave and maybe it won't come back. Or carry its coffin over a church's gate and then it won't come back. It's very specific. Adjusting my head. The Gienganger isn't known for going around and biting people like most zombies. Instead of biting, the Gienganger would go and pinch people. The spot where the Gienganger pinches would turn blue and become infected. Again, one of those kind of lamer zombie attacks. Like, you're running away from this undead creature, and instead of like biting you or trying to kill you, he just like, boop, congratulations, you have hepatitis. Okay, maybe not hepatitis. That's a different kind of pinch. But the Gienganger, if one did come back, well, as I said, there aren't really killing methods, but there are avoiding methods, hold up a cross, or other religious symbols. Additionally, painting a cross over your door in tar was supposed to keep a Gienganger out. Although if I saw anything painted over my neighbor's door in tar, I might choose to stay away anyways. The last form of undead we have is one that is honestly the closest to any of the actual zombies of today. It's called a revenant, which is very dramatic for no apparent reason. The revenant matches in some extent of it is just sort of an undead that can do very little, actually. I think that's actually why it matches modern day zombies, because it doesn't have a bunch of powers and abilities. The Revenant was supposed to be a wicked person returning from the grave. In fact, Revenant actually means returning. Air quotes. Because that fits in the situation. One thing different from a Revenant and normal zombies, that it was believed that Revenants retained the soul they had in life. Because of this, they also kept their memories. That means if they have a grudge, they come in after you. Because of this, Revenant were far more intelligent than most zombies. They were also supposed to be very strong. Like, just physically very strong. Because you can see a lot of muscle through that. The Revenant was also said to spread disease. Because, you know, a rotting corpse, whether it's moving or not, is probably going to be spreading disease. The Revenant would hunt down people and drain them of their blood. Kind of like a vampire. Except, honestly, a little more intimidating, if you ask me. They would often be very plump looking, I guess. I don't exactly know what the wording is. Additionally to being plump, they would have a darker complexion. This is because they gorge themselves on blood. Too much of that blood. We need an intervention about the blood. Let's go. It goes to your hips. Those are not hips. Gotta be easy on that blood. We'll go to your hips. But because of how full and gorged it is on blood, if you stab a Revenant, recommended, then blood will shoot out of the wound like it's pressurized, because these things aren't gross enough. The way you're supposed to kill a revenant is by cutting out its heart and then burning that heart. Of course, you can only just chop off the head. That's what I always like to do. So, what have we learned today? Well, one, we've learned that modern day zombies are completely useless. Two, we've learned that just about any other kind of undead folklore is way more interesting. And three, we learned that I don't know where my mouth is. But yeah, there goes another video on the undead. If you like this video, please like it, comment, and subscribe. And if there's any creatures that you'd want to hear about in the future, well then write them in the comments. I'll probably make a video about them. So yeah, that's it for this video. Later.